Jeffrey joins us now. He's in our virtual green room, and he's written a book called The Jesus Ring. Perfect timing when you think of what's happening now with Easter, etc. And the meaning of the book and the message of this book is so fascinating and so important. So, Daniel, you and I had a great off-air conversation. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So tell us about Jesus Ring. Tell us about the Jesus Ring and what it is for people who don't know.
Basically, the Jesus Ring is a modern-day take on items that show up in the book of Revelation in the Bible. And it's a fictional story about modern-day times and events that basically happen in Revelation that have been foretold thousands of years ago.
What made you decide to come up with this? How did you come up with this tale?
Well, I was fishing one morning in Galveston Bay, probably late summer of 2019, and it was already enough to watch the dawn turn from gray to full sunrise, and it was beautiful, and I was really enjoying it. The fish are feeding, the bait jumping, the saltwater predators fed. Egrets, pelicans, seagulls, they all getting their breakfast. The water was calm and clear, and there were a couple of dolphins surfing on the channel close to where the boat was anchored. Yeah, well, I enjoyed the beauty of the sunrise and nature at work. I thought about the miracles we see every day, but didn't recognize. Foolish thoughts and some not so foolish. Like, are there any other God's creation that can marvel at the beauty I was seeing that morning? Do the pelicans have the same exhilaration as I did at the sight of something beautiful and spectacular? And then the thought occurred to me, this is not going to last. The end of times have been foretold in the Bible and the book of Revelation, and it's been foretold by Matthew, Mark, Timothy, Luke, John, Daniel. Matthew had warned us to watch and be ready. The apocalypse is inevitable, and once started, my days of peacefully enjoying a sunrise may be over. I'm not a fatalist, but I am a firm believer in the Bible, including the parts that states that God's message and Jesus' message will be changed by people that are all unscrupulous and unstable, untaught. To me, this means that there are people that purposefully will change the written Scripture and teach parts of the Scripture to their own design and purpose. Anyway, we're starting to see the events that were forecast that will eventually lead to Armageddon. Wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in places that never quaked before, and they're far from any tectonic plates. Volcanoes that had become inactive, that have been inactive and have become active after thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of years. The unrest, the world unrest, famine, diseases I've never seen before. Those, among others, have all been predicted. With those thoughts in mind, I decided to try my hand at a novel that tried to follow the current events that resembled trials and tribulations of Revelation, hence the Jesus Ring.
Yeah, and in the book, you talk about this ancient ring that washes up onto the sand and the shells of the Florida shoreline, and I can relate to that. And you talk about a young American veteran struggling with PTSD, finding the ring and putting it on his finger. And we don't want to give away the whole story, but it's fascinating where you took us. Tell us a little bit about Peter and what he's like.
Peter is basically a modern day veteran from the Gulf Wars and Afghanistan, and he basically has PTSD, and he has to take all the medications and stuff, and basically it leaves him a drooler till he finds the ring, and the ring heals immediately, and it gives him a direct link with God. And basically he can talk to him, have conversations directly with him. And it starts from there. The ring basically will change him not only mentally, but also physically. It cures all of his problems, all of his diseases. But now it has put him on the trail for an adventure, basically, because he will be the first apostle. And in essence, he is not necessarily the white, the pale horse rider, but he triggers the events of the pale horse in the Bible.
Wow. All right, we don't want to give too much away. Again, it's fascinating how you said it, how you take the story, and it's a modern-day tale. What do you hope, Daniel, that people do take away from reading the book?
Well, for one thing, it's a good read. And also that there's, that basically the predictions do follow a lot of what's going on in the world right now. I took some liberties with, the science fiction. Of course, all science is fictional until science proves it, and it becomes science fact.
Right.
All of the science that I mentioned in the Jesus Ring is theoretically feasible. The warping of space, molecular rearrangement of food and other objects, and the healing of certain types of light rays. The science just hadn't caught up with the fiction part yet. I did take some other liberties with evolution. I never believed that humankind evolved from dinosaurs, so I made the dinosaurs a food source for Satan and his minions. When the dinosaurs were gone and humankind reached the social advancement to understanding the need for prayer and devotion to God, the non-believers became Satan's primary food.
Ooh, that sounds like what a plot that you've weaved in this. So, Daniel, Harry, the book is called The Jesus Ring. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Oh,